For decades, the way we've talked to our tech has been with our fingertips and our voices. Tapping on screens, yelling at smart assistants. But the next big leap? It isn't about a better screen or a smarter microphone. No, it's about getting rid of the middleman altogether.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You're frustrated, trying to type out a long email, trying to get your point across. What if you could just think it and it just appears on the screen? Or what if you could change your playlist with just a thought? Well, that's not some far-off dream anymore. It's the tech being built as we speak. And this is not science fiction, not anymore. The whole idea of plugging our minds directly into our devices is moving out of the research lab and into our lives, and it's creating what you could call the ultimate user interface, your own brain.
So how real is all this?
Well, it's actually already hitting the consumer market. Let's take a look at what's happening right now. You've got companies like Neurotechnology launching consumer headphones that use these non-invasive sensors to figure out your mental state. Just imagine this. Your music app notices you're losing focus, and it automatically switches to a playlist that helps you concentrate, all without you doing a single thing. This is really the first wave of what we call consumer brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. And you know what happens when there's this kind of innovation, right? Big money always follows. And this isn't just some niche hobby for a few tech nerds. We're talking about a massive, exploding market.
Take a look at that number. That's the projected value of the brain-computer interface market by 2032. We're not just talking about cool gadgets here. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar industry that's being built around decoding our thoughts and our intentions.
This chart right here really shows you that explosive growth. The market's expected to jump from $2.4 billion in 2025 to over $6 billion in just 7 years. That's a compound annual growth rate of over 14%. So this technology, it's not just coming, it's accelerating. It's hitting the gas.
And here's the really crucial part. Over 60% of this market is in non-invasive tech. So think wearable headbands, headphones, things that anyone can buy and use safely without needing surgery. That right there is the key to taking BCIs totally mainstream.
So what's fueling this fire? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm. You've got a growing medical need for solutions to things like Parkinson's. You've got these incredible advancements in AI that can finally make sense of brain signals, and then you have this flood of new uses in everything from gaming to military tech. But look, not all BCIs are created equal. There's a really fundamental difference in how they work, and it basically comes down to one simple question. Do you need surgery or not?
So, on one side, you have the invasive BCIs, like what Neuralink is doing. These are actually implanted right into the brain, which gives them unbelievable accuracy. They're mostly focused on huge medical breakthroughs, like helping paralyzed patients communicate again. Then on the other side, you've got the non-invasive wearables from companies like Neurotechnology. They use sensors on the scalp, things like EEG. They're way safer, way easier to use, and they're aimed directly at you and me, the consumer market.
Now, for a long time, there was this huge performance gap between the two, but that's changing, and it's changing fast. Tech giants like Meta are pouring resources into advanced AI in projects like Brain to Cordy to make their non-invasive, wearable systems almost as powerful as getting a surgical implant.
But the hardware, the headbands and the chips, that's really only half the story. The true game changer here, and maybe the source of the real danger, is the artificial intelligence that's interpreting all that data.
So a BCI isn't just a sensor. You got to think of it as a two-part system. First, it records the incredibly complex electrical signals coming from your brain. Then, and this is the key, super sophisticated AI decodes those signals, translating them into actions, like moving a cursor, typing a word, or even identifying a feeling. And right here is where things get truly mind-bending. In their research, scientists at the BCI company Synchron, they discovered their system could actually detect the brain signal for an error before the user even realized they were about to click the wrong button. The AI knew your real intention was different from your action before you did. Just let that sink in. Okay, let's break that down. The system is constantly recording your brain activity. The AI isn't just looking for a simple command like move left. No, it's analyzing these deep patterns to understand your preconscious intent, what you want to do before you've even fully formed the conscious thought. It can then execute or even correct your action instantly.
And this is not theoretical stuff. In a real clinical trial at Caltech, a system detected a paralyzed volunteer's intention to play a note on a virtual piano hundreds of milliseconds before she was consciously aware of trying to do it. The technology is literally moving faster than conscious thought.
And this incredible, almost unbelievable power, it leads us to the biggest, most important question of all. A question that, frankly, we are completely unprepared to answer.
You see, while surgically implanted BCIs are subject to all these strict medical regulations, the consumer market for wearable neurotech? It's basically the Wild West. There are almost no laws, no rules governing what these companies can do with your brain data.
And the risks? They are enormous. A 2024 analysis found that most of these consumer neurotech companies keep total control of your data. This means they could sell insights about your focus, your anxiety levels, maybe even your political leanings. They could manipulate your choices, and this data could be used to discriminate against you. Just imagine an AI like Neuralink's Grok drafting your emails based on your brain signals. It could start to shape not just what you say, but how you think, and even who you are.
Neuroethicist Marcelo Yenka gives a really stark warning about this. He says that adding our raw brain data to the current digital world is like giving steroids to the existing data economy. It's a completely unprecedented level of personal information that's just up for grabs.
Which leaves us with this final critical thought. As this technology gets woven into our daily lives, we have to decide where the line is. If a company's AI can decode, predict, and even influence your preconscious intentions, what does that mean for free will? If your thoughts can be read, are they truly, completely still yours?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next video.